Brogan's arm. You're mostly interested in a shop, anything that improves my armor class. And if I get a better shield, then I can act as a tank when someone does all the killing.
A note hangs from a hook on the metal-clad door.
Read note. Warning. The mine has been sealed at the request of the Guild Council. Do not enter. Note is signed by someone named Jaeger Steinfar. Steinfar.
A scowl playing across her broad, stern face, this woman marches toward you. Her skin is gray and tight, somehow reminding you of dead wood half buried in the sand. She plants her feet and crosses her arms. Ye have some nerve barging into a woman's home, interrupting her from her weaving? Why, when me husband comes home...
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just have some questions. Her arms cross firmly beneath her bosom. The woman shows no sign of budging. If it's answers you want, then go pester Helga in the guild hall. This be a private home. Go. We could have tried to lie and pretend to be an associate of her husband, which seems like a very risky thing to move, because I don't even know who her husband is. So that association might not be in my favor in any way. And the first thing she's gonna ask is some kind of proof of that. Maybe some sort of item we could have picked up.
The guild hall seems cluttered and claustrophobic. Beaded with sweat, the older woman before you fusses about the dust and occasionally helps herself to a drink from the ale kegs in the corner. You finally catch her attention. If ye be looking for the council, she slurs, they be down at the barrow all night and day, dealing with the kerfuffle there.
What kind of kerfuffle? Goodness knows, the woman exclaims. The council be like a clutch of geese some days, squawking one to the other. It be something to do with the Kevano stone is all I know. Who are you? I be Helga Einswater. Spelled with a W, sounds like a V. I keep the guild hall in one piece. I clean up after the council meetings and see people through the exhibits. Older than boulders, they call me. Okay. What goes on in the council meetings? She rolls her eyes and leans right a little. Mostly drinking. Boys will be boys, even when they be crusty old farts. As for the drink, I never touch the stuff. She wipes a drip of ale from her chin. What about the exhibits? The look of shock that crosses her face almost seems to sober her. Have ye not heard? We be Brogan's own brood here. There be history in this place and the bedrock beneath it. We be long-lived, we barrow dwarfs, but even we do be known to die. If we forget our ancestors and not pay homage to what's past, we'll all be withering away. Even the drink won't save us then. Guild keeps an exhibit hall upstairs, so all the clan knows where it be they came from. We let outsiders like ye in too, but only at the price of 50 guilders. I think ye be interested. We can't afford it, so might as well. The old woman pockets your coins and nods towards the stairwell. Go on up then, but don't ye make a mess of the exhibits. The council may have them warded, but I still have to clean them. Okay, that's good information. They're warded, we probably can't do all that much with them. Guild exhibits entrance.
You try the latch on the heavy door and find it locked. Oops, mumbles Helga from across the room. She wiggles her meaty finger at the door. The tumblers click, and the door unlocks before you. There was a time when we Barrow Dwarves were known as Cairn Dwarves. We lived deep within the northern bedrock, united and led by a great leader and warrior, Brogan Noctjager. It was Brogan who instructed us to journey to the surface world each time a clan member died, that we might leave their body there on a rocky cairn where they might be closer to the heavens. The rule of Brogan Noctjager was long and just. The rivalries within our clan were quelled beneath his leadership, and we lived for many centuries in peace, safe within the halls of Brogan's Deep. As the centuries passed, Brogan Noctjager grew old and frail. His great battle prowess faded from him, and he grew melancholy. He turned his attention inward to his clan home of Brogan's Deep. He financed great feats of construction and expansion. Under his aging guidance, our clan home grew ever larger, its tunnels reaching toward Stygia, until at last workers punched through that divide. Frail and dying, Brogan followed the tunnel he had ordered built and stepped into the Stygian abyss. There he petitioned that realm's demonic lords for a warrior's death. The Stygian lords granted his request, returning him to the prowess of his youth and enslaving him as a gladiator for their amusement. Returned to his youthful glory, Brogan Noctjager fought unlike any other the world has known, besting even the Stygian lords themselves. When all lay dead, he began the long march home to Brogan's Deep. As Brogan walked, he aged once more. His bones became brittle, his back stooped, and all the while his feet were scorched by Stygia's shifting sands, and his throat was parched by its ash-filled air. When Brogan at last arrived at the gate to his former domain, as old and frail as he had been when last he saw it, he found it guarded by 4 ancient red dragons of the abyss. They tore his body limb from limb and scattered the pieces to the 4 far corners of the world. The dragons then tore open the gates to Brogan's Deep, wreaking their vengeance upon the clan within. A great war was waged against the forces of Stygia within those ancestral halls, and, in the end, our forefathers chose the only victory they could. They collapsed the upper chambers of the clan home and sealed the passage between this world and the world below. Ever since, we sons of Brogan have lived in exile. Thus it was that, exiled from our ancestral home, we Barrow Dwarves came to live upon the snowy surface like the dead. We learned to follow the elkin beasts in their migrations, hunting them for food. But the clan grew ever smaller amidst the spirits of this place. There came a time when there was only one man left alive who still remembered Brogan's face. His name was Old Man Kavanaugh. Like Brogan before him, he was old and frail. No longer able to hunt, he thought himself a burden upon the clan. One night, as the blizzard howled, he slipped from his tent and walked into the blinding snows. There, his breath turned to ice upon his beard. Closer to death than life, Old Man Kavanaugh stumbled and found his face pressed against the tattooed arm of Brogan Noctjager embedded in the snows. The hunters found him there the next morning and brought his body back to camp together with the arm. A barrow was erected there according to the old ways, and the village of Brogan's Arm grew about it.
5A.
Clutched in Brogan's frozen fist was a chunk of hellish rock that sputters and smokes to this day. It is known as the Kavanaugh Stone, as the old man is said to have survived many dark hours by its warmth. Perhaps the stone played some role in the mysterious spring that formed where Brogan's frozen arm had been discovered. The water, warm and sulphurous, is still used for many ceremonial purposes. Known as Brogan's Tears, we continue to bring this magical water to the surface by way of the old man's well. This well, carefully preserved, still marks the original site at the village's southwest corner. The waters you stand in now are drawn from that same source. Please follow the waters through to the second half of our exhibit, where you will learn of a third place where Brogan's Tears have surfaced.
Well, if nothing else, we're getting some experience out of this. And this could be very relevant to what we have to do here.
In the dim light, you see a message scrawled onto the stone abutment at the water's edge. It seems to have been done casually, as if by an idle hand. The graceful characters are clearly elven in origin.
Hard difficulty check on a skill I have no skill in. This is pretty much impossible. You rack your brain trying to decipher the elven text, but to no avail. Regardless, whoever wrote it definitely seems to have been interested in Brogan's Tears. Copy the message. At least there's some common sense options here. Show it to someone who actually knows this. You tear a page from your journal and carefully transcribe the untranslated text onto the sheet. Perhaps you can find someone who will translate it for you.
And so it is that through the warmth of Brogan's tears, we Barrow Dwarfs have journeyed from the past into the present, from the stuff of legend to the substance of our daily lives. Besides the old man's well, Brogan's tears also emerge at the Barrow site, the cultural heart of our village. It is there that the Kavanaugh Stone is held, and there that Brogan's arm still rests. The Barrow site is holy ground, sacred to us all, forever wetted by Brogan's tears and imbued with his warrior spirit. As his sons, we partake in that spirit and stand as eternal guards against the forces of Stygia. Mining is now the primary industry here in Brogan's Arm. This began 2 generations past with Arn Steinfar's founding of the Steinfar gem mine. The vein was rich and the clan saw great prosperity. With prosperity, however, came greed. The vein, laden with gems, lured the miners ever deeper into the rock, ever closer to Brogan's Deep, which we had so long ago abandoned to the demon hordes. It wasn't long before those hordes broke through, escaping their long confinement and slaughtering the very miners they had lured to free them. Arn Steinfar and his eldest son died in that haunted place. The Guild Council in its wisdom was quick to act. Volunteer armsmen entered the mine and held an important pass, while behind them, charges were set and detonated. In the end, only the uppermost floor of the mine remained intact. The brave dwarves who held the pass against the demons below were buried, victims of our greed, in a shower of gems. The old gem mine is still owned by the Steinfar family and is currently being reinvigorated and returned to production by Arn Steinfar's grandson, Jager, at the encouragement of the Guild Council. Acting in full compliance with strict council regulations, Jager has agreed to pursue an iron vein that runs parallel to the surface. As of this writing, work has been underway for 3 years without violation. The Steinfar mines are an important part of our clan heritage, and we, the Guild Council, are proud to be working with the Steinfar family to bring them back into production.
We're quite a bit closer to a level up, if nothing else. And okay way to find out what's actually going on here. Can I ask some things about that?
Helga turns, bleary-eyed, to face you. He
Questions.
again, is...
I don't study them, I just clean them. Ye saw both sides though, didn't ye? He passed through the waters and saw the exhibits on the other side. The council's pretty proud of that bit. Um, yeah, I found this message scrawled near the waters. There's always something more to clean. She pulls the message closer to her face and crosses her eyes at it. Elven. A fool's tongue if I ever knew one. Do you know someone who might translate it? She sways slightly as she considers your question. Old man Nimmermeyer might. He be an alchemist and as such foolish notions be his bread and butter. He makes his home down by the barrow side. Okay. Many strangers been through town lately. Aye, we get a few wandering this far north occasionally. Some be lost, some come for a purpose. In yesterday's council meeting, there was talk of a company of soldiers passing through. I heard them pass by me shutters, but they never stopped in to see the exhibits. Except the one fellow. Perhaps he was with them. If so, he stayed behind to chat with me after the others left town. Okay, that one fellow. Tell me more about him. The old woman's eyes glaze over in the memory. He was a charmer, he was, even for an elf. She chuckles to herself. I let him in for half price. He said he was here for the Cavernous stone. He was wearing armor, the leathers all polished and white on black, the rivets gleaming golden in the lamplight. I can't say I've ever seen anything quite like it before or since. The elf stayed upstairs in the exhibit hall all night, and I must have been sleeping when he left, 'cause he was gone by morning when I went to dust. Tell me about the Cavernous stone. The old dwarf's eyes light up within her ash-gray face. True, ye have a whole exhibit on the stone. If ye seek it, what better a thing to do than to educate yourself all about it? Right, bye. I've already gone through the exhibit. What's the other door? It's not locked. It's not marked on the map either. It is the outside. I still need that armor though.
The heavily muscled dwarf gnaws at his lower lip as he pounds the anvil. Sensing your presence, he turns to face you. What do you want? He scowls.
He's a blacksmith. The man's lip hangs limp and swollen from his face. Yeah, he grunts. You notice that his right eye has some sort of a tick, constantly darting inward. Can I see your stock? He points you in the right direction, gesturing dismissively. The dwarf's lower lip returns to its toothy cage as he begins to hammer once more on the anvil. Left eye continues to watch you. Good stuff, basic shop, way above my pay grade though. A standard shield is probably the best option for us. The tower shield weighs a ton. We'll be drastically limited in what we can carry in addition to the armor. But we do want some sort of a shield. This is crap. Armor would be more beneficial at this stage though. Blade is way too expensive for us. It's a particularly good shop to begin with. I mean, I think a blade usually costs around 1,000, maybe even less. This is 1,200. Something closer to chainmail is probably the best we can do. So 5-2 or 6-2 as far as armor is concerned. Or 4. We want as high of an armor class as possible because we don't have dexterity really. So the 6-1 is probably the best we can hope for. Can I afford it? Yes, I will have 4 gold extra. Seven one. Can't quite afford that, so splint mail it is. Four extra armor class. I would like a shield too. Heart shield is only 40. If I sell the glittering necklace I can probably get it. Right, I have 3 gold, but my armor class is substantially better. Worth the investment. I'll ask about the Cavanausto and strangers in town.
The heavily muscled dwarf gnaws at his lower lip as he pounds the anvil.
Whole company. The man gestures around his near-empty shop. The weapons and armor look plain and ordinary. Bought me out, he explains, wiping a sooty patina of sweat from his brow. What did they buy? He pauses in his labor, considering your question. The best. He crosses his arms against his chest, as if daring you to challenge him. Powerful magic. Must have made a lot of money. Dwarf's right eye begins to dart about independent of the left. Her questions seem to have made him suspicious. All hidden, he sneers. I don't particularly want to rob him. Okay, I'm looking for the Cavanaugh stone. The man's hand takes flight like a well-fed vulture, startled from its corpse. Something's wrong, he says, a black-nailed finger pointing out. Guild business. Okay, what's wrong with the stone? The man shrugs, seizing a still glowing blade from the anvil and dousing it in a nearby barrel of water. It hisses and sputters like a drowning man before finally falling silent. Guild, yes, advises. Yeah, I think we've gone through all the realistic options this place can offer.
Blast that elf! Are ye sure the stone be gone? Mayhaps it fell and skittered into some dark corner we cannot find. The Kavanaugh stone be gone, gentlemen, and Brogan's honor with it. Stolen by the foreigner. Aye, it be him. He's hidden it somewhere. Quiet! Keep your voices down, lest the whole town learn of what's gone on. The old dwarf pauses in his endless pacing. Your eyes can't help but drift to where his sleeve has been stitched closed over a missing arm. He raps his walking stick against the floor, reclaiming your gaze. "Me face be up here. Now, if your business be with things of magic, you've come to the right place. If your business be otherwise, you'd best be off and pestering the likes of others."
What happened to your arm? You can hear his teeth grinding against each other. I lost it to a Karpaloth, he finally admits. A fiend from the Stygian pits. I was still young then, when we fought to collapse the mines. Why were you trying to collapse the mines? We know this, but this might lead to something interesting. Read your history, lad. That be why they built the Guildhall exhibit, isn't it? Painted with their own veil of lies. Well, there be things even the exhibits don't tell ye here. And what are those things? The old man's eyes look haunted. Who am I to say they tell true of Brogan? But of the mines, they say we helped the demons at the bridge and collapsed the mines on top of them. Our forces at the bridge were slaughtered. The plan had been to shatter it before the hordes arrived, but they were already there waiting for us. They ambushed us, sweeping the rear lines with devil's fire, and only by chance was an old storage room, all full of blasting power, set alight. Only a handful of us escaped alive. But the mine still collapsed to thwart the demons? Reaching for his missing arm, the old dwarf shakes his head sadly. That's where ye be wrong. It be an ambush, see? They were behind our lines, behind the collapse. I said a handful of us escaped, lad, but not all of us were dwarves. The room falls quiet with the implication of his tale. Purple haze of incense begins to feel heavy and oppressive. So what the hell happened to demons? I killed the Karpaloth that claimed my arm and destroyed another fiend as it drained the life from my eldest sister. 30 years later I found and killed another. I became a student of the dark arts, their languages, their rituals, that I might better hunt and kill them to the last. To my knowledge, there still be one left that escaped with me that night. But enough of an old dwarf's obsessions. Come, there must be brighter topics for us to discuss. So, is the hag related to this then? Well, we were suspicious of everything, and we have to exercise caution. The main problem is that we don't know at all what we're doing, so we have to be very cautious in our options. I could use help translating something. Languages be the key to knowledge, lad. Myself, I have studied the countless tongues of demons, but also am fluent in some of other tongues of men. What is it that you wish translated? I copied this message in the guild exhibits. Leaning his walking stick against his shoulder, he takes your copy of the scribbled message and holds it to the light. Elven, is it? And in the exhibits? Well, let me see here. Rincu Cardis Cavanil Drew Vel Loris Brogan Zaid Landar Ke Mogri Ir Koda. If the Kavanaugh stone gave birth to Brogan's tears, then to find the mother I must pursue the child. He scribbles quick translation onto the back of the original. Fascinatingly obscure. They'll be like that. Have you anything else? Nothing, I was just curious. With a nod, the old dwarf stares absently over your shoulder at the clutter beyond. Have any strangers come through town lately?
Most recently be that 50-odd band of knights that headed north into the pass. But the term knight being not quite accurate, they struck me as being warrior scholars of a sort. Those who came in spoke most knowledgeably of the dark arts and chose from my wares accordingly. Not much of power still be left. Luckily they proved tolerant of my poor thieving raping.
You have a raven? The old man grimaces.
Aye, Raggle-tag, me poor familiar. I fear me work will be the death of her. She's fallen in love with me infernal contraption, you see.
What does the contraption do?
Eh?
He remarks, shaking his grizzled head.
It'd be a mistake. I should never have crafted it. Was trying to spin gold from thin air. I should have known better than meddle in such things.
In a fit of anger, the one-armed dwarf lashes out with his walking stack. What the hell is walking stack? Nearly breaking it against one of the bookshelves. Even when
he succeed, he fail. Ah, me sorry poor Raggle-tag.
it really spins gold from thin air.
Do ye doubt me, foolish lad? Go try it yourself, and ye will see. Throw your gilders down the tube, and ye will soon find that sometimes even more emerge, and sometimes less.
Skulls deepens. So it's basically a slot machine of a sort. Gambling.
Soon it will leave you a hollow man, lad, as it did me witless Raggle-tag. Where she finds her dirty gilders with which to play, I'll never know, but she be on a binge again these past few nights. She's been clattering up and down the chimney flue so much I can't recall how long it's been since I last slept.
Dwarf sighs, looking frail and old.
She'll be home again soon, another gilder in her beak.
Dark arts. Have you ever seen an ethereal leap? This is maybe a chance to try to confirm what the night hag has been telling us. So if this doesn't either confirm what she said or find out that she's been lying to us.
Every day of my long, long life.
He sighs, he brings the head of his walking stick up, letting it caress your face.
I am sorry to hear of your sacrifice, lad.
What do you mean? One-armed man looks up at you, surprised.
I'm sorry, child. When you asked of them, I only assumed that you could see them too. It is said that only those who have sacrificed everything for a cause can see them.
He gazes down at his stitched sleeve, his one hand coming over to rub the stump of his shoulder in memory. Yeah, I can see them. He eyes you for a moment, resolving some internal debate.
Then mayhaps the night hag has a hand in it. I know what I know, but if she be involved, gods themselves can fathom what may happen.
Okay, what exactly is the night hag? The room suddenly grows cold.
The night hag is it?
The old man's tongue darts out to lick his upper lip.
We've had our dealings. She be of the Fae, you know.
I don't know.
Strange creatures they be, and great power. Many, like the night hag, can shift their shape in and be in many places at once. But there be one thing that be important if ye be dealing with the Fae.
What's that? The old dwarf grips his walking stick tightly.
The Fae-born cannot lie any more than they can tell the truth. They live between such earthly things. If you must deal with them, ye do so at your peril.
So... They don't lie. No, they cannot lie. At the same time, they don't tell the truth either. So, partial truths, internal misinterpretations, letting me believe things that aren't strictly speaking true. So we have to rely on our own information gathering, and not on the hag. Should I go back and try to steal her journal? I still don't think so, but it's not in our character's nature. Tell me about the land of the dead. The question seems to give him pause.
The land of the dead be a vast place,
He begins.
more vast even than the world we come to know in life.
Yeah, you're using pretty much the exact same words as the hag to make me suspicious. If Fae are shapeshifters and can be in many places at once, we sort of have to assume that we're going to meet the hag in multiple times too, in multiple places.
Many, like Brogan, have crossed into that place. Some have even returned to tell its tale. Worse yet, however, are those things that cross from that world into our.
What are those things? Old dwarf pounds his walking stick into the stone floor with such force that the noise seems to echo and rebound forever within his chambers.
I will not grace them with a name.
Okay, but could you tell me about them? Apparently no. Yeah, I seek the Kavanaugh stone.
Ah, the Kavanaugh stone. It not be a hard thing to find, seeing how the clan so foolishly reveres it. The stone be an evil born of Stygia, leaving foul waters everywhere it goes.
Warm, sulphurous water. Why is it foolish to revere it?
Why do they do honor to such a rock, placing it on an altar beneath the open sky, where be the arm of our clan father Brogan? It was in his hand the stone was found, and for him this town be named. Yet where be his arm that we rightly should be revering? It be nothing but rot and dust, long ago forgotten. Kavanaugh stone be an usurper of Brogan's honor.
Why do you say it's born of Stygia?
I have seen the demons of that place, lad, and this bears their same burning skin and smell of sulphur. It be a cunning thing, and the clan's reverence for it bodes more than ill.
And the stone befouls the water. The dwarf taps his walking stick against the flagstones as he ponders how best to express it.
The stone doesn't befoul water so much as it slowly draws foul waters to it by and by.
Can you give me an example?
There be a well behind me place called the Old Man's Well, though I be named more for it than it for me. Long ago it be a spring of foul waters, for that was where the stone had rested many years. Now it be but a well, and even that be dry. Yet a new spring flows within the barrow side where the stone be kept. Why is that? They draw on the same water of Brogan's tears. One can even travel between them if ye do not mind the rats. You see, the Kavanaugh stone, it draws the waters to it.
So your well leads to the Kavanaugh stone.
Oh no, they will not be mine to claim, but in a manner of speaking, yes. If you follow the foul waters of Brogan's tears, they will lead you to where the stone last rested.
Just want to see the shop options. It is mostly worthless to us, but it's good to know what we can possibly get here. Some potions. Haste potions might not be a horrible idea. They're way above my price range though. Don't particularly want to gamble. Okay, we learned something useful. We have a way to get to the Cabernet Stone. Old Man's Well, Southgate.
The guard eyes you warily as you approach. He seems jumpy and on edge. "What be your business in Brogan's arm?" he musters, glancing over your shoulder to search the shadows beyond.
Are you guarding this gate?
Aye, Master Jaeger's closed down the mine where I usually work, and the council says we're to guard the south gate instead. No one passes in or out.
The man's eyes dart about nervously. Why? Why is the mine closed? No, what's the matter?
Ain't nothing the matter. Now move along.
I am not in a position to fight against demons. You have to need magical weapons.
At least the elf be captured, even if the stone still be at large. Ye be sure your minds will hold him, Steinfar? I followed every one of your foolish safety regulations, councilman. Ye tell me if me minds will hold him. They be fit to pen in demons, Grindlogger. The minds will hold a foolish elf just fine. Regardless, he be down there now. I've sealed the doors behind him and posted a warning to any of me miners who might have reason to go down. Aye, and now we wait.
I'll crack your bloody skull! To your weapons, and don't let up! Attack!
What's guarding the east gate? So I think we've pretty much exhausted our options here. We either go to the east gate or the old man's well. Saint Par Iron Mines would be another option.
You peer into the darkened room. Shovels and time-worn picks lay stacked against the far wall, showing signs of recent use. Other than their solemn presence, you see nothing of interest.
Okay. Go to the east gate first. I'm curious to see where it even leads.
The gray-skinned man inspects the elkin beast's carcass, his hands brushing lightly against its side. His brow is furrowed in concern. "Ye bring ill winds, traveler," he advises, not looking up.
What's wrong with that elkin beast? Man lifts his finger to his prominent nose, taking in the scent of the elkin beast's coat.
I don't know. She was fine when we made it into the town last night. Now she be dead. Stranger yet, with every hour the carcass grows warmer rather than colder. Mayhap it be some fell disease, though not one I've ever seen before.
You catch a glimpse of fear lurking behind his eyes. Any way I can help?
Well, it never hurt to take precautions. Think you could run to old man Nimmermeer's and pick up some of his resistance potions while I stay here with the herd? You can keep any change that he gives you.
Okay, a resistance potion from Nimmermeer. I'll do it. He grabs your hand in his and gives it a firm shake.
Thank you, friend. I'd hate to see the entire herd fall to this same fate. I don't know the old man's latest prices, but 50 guilders should be enough.
Well, it better be, because I don't have extra gold. I don't have really anything I could sell either. This might be a good opportunity in general to just take a little bit of a rest. We can rest every 3 minutes, I guess. Might as well reset the counter at this point.
The old man nods as you approach, inviting you to speak with the tap of his walking stick against the floor.
What about potion is it, technically? Potion of resistance. Oh, it's a literal potion of resistance. It's one of the most worthless things ever.
The gray-skinned man inspects the elkin beast's carcass, his hands brushing lightly against its side. His brow is furrowed in concern. Do ye have the resistance potion from Nimmermeyer's yet, traveler?
Here it is. The dwarf holds the potion up to his light, up to the light, examining its murky contents.
Many thanks, my friend. You will administer. I'll administer it to the herd later tonight, and hope it serves them for well.
Anything wrong? Okay, who are you?
A fair enough question, I suppose.
The man finally looks up to take in your face.
Forgive me, manners. I have had me hands full since I returned. I be Bernhard, herd keeper of the clan.
What does a herd keeper do? The man clearly takes pride in his work and warms to your question.
The clan trusts me to tend to the elkin herd. During the winters, I take them down into the valleys where they'll be sheltered.
Can't you shelter them here?
These animals are free spirits. Their forebears sacrificed themselves to feed and clothe the clan in its time of need. For that, we must always treat them with respect. When the winters come, the herd feels the call of their ancestors. I go with them to see them safely through their journey. Spring be on its way, though, so I have brought them home to pasture.
Okay. Now if we can, we might as well ask about the Kavanaugh Stone and strangers. We'll probably get the same answers.
Ah, it's a stone, is it? Well, ye won't find it here, I'm afraid. The clan keeps it yonder at the barrow side. Ye should visit the guild exhibits if ye be that interested, though. They tell a fair enough tale of it.
Yeah, tell me about your clan.
This village be all that's left of the sons of Brogan. We may be few in number, but we are proud of spirit and stout of heart. If ye wish to know more, ye should visit the guild exhibits.
Where's the barrow side? A dwarf brushes a stray wisp of hair from his face.
The barrow side, it be the big open-air temple to the south edge of town. I should head there tonight yet and pay my respects.
Right. Strangers?
That'd be hard to say. The herd and I have just returned with the spring, and I've spent all my time setting them in. Stick with the blacksmith Angamar, you'll have heard.
Elkin tree. Okay. I don't get it. Maybe it's something for druids and rangers. Anyone who can communicate with the beasts themselves. Right, as far as I can see, we have basically only one option to go, and that's the old well. Maybe other characters would have other additional options. Wait, what is this house? The other one is the wife of the mine. No, don't
To
destroy
your
it.
weapons, and don't let up! Attack!
The well is old and wreathed in moss. A foul-smelling steam wafts up from below.
The rope is crusted with salt. The moss slick against your back. Holding your breath against the fumes, you lower yourself into the warm darkness below.
To your weapons, and don't let up! Attack!
You almost gag
Time
on the
for a
thick,
bit of the game.
foul-smelling mists. Breathing through your mouth, you look about you. Rats scuttle in the distance, and more than one floats dead in the warm, bubbling waters. The slick stone beneath your feet is pebbled with translucent deposits where the water has splashed or dripped onto its surface. It almost seems to be alive somehow.
Ghoul rat. That is something we cannot possibly kill. Is injured though. I'll save it. Rats carry mainly disease, I guess. So, yeah. Could you continue attacking something, please?
The limestone floor seems to have grown around this more ancient wall, crumbling like winter ice along an island's edge. The dwarven pictograms, clearly of an ancient style, are impossible to decipher beneath the thin sheen of mineral deposits. The soft blue flame seemed kept alive by magic alone.
Ugh, more rats. Ugh, more rats.
Time for a bit of the game.
Must be a summon me. No, they're just popping up. It's possible that we were meant to just bypass this.
The grotesquely distorted figure before you seems to exist in a constant state of pain. A gray, patternless mange sprouts from once pink skin, and the creature's eyes have a fevered look about them.
Are you alright?
Lord Mar, is it really you?
The creature struggles with the words, lisping against its unnaturally large teeth.
You've changed so much since last I saw you, but I still recognize your voice.
How do you know my name?
I followed you all the way from the king's court,
Simpers said. Simpers the creature.
I had hoped you would still recognize me within this flesh. It is me, my lord, Baron Androlet. Don't you remember?
Do I want to pretend I recall him or not? Because the way I sort of express the fact that I don't know his name is like I've forgotten his name instead of that I've forgotten everything. But I still don't want to lie. Sorry, I don't know anyone by that name. The creature's teeth chatter with fever.
But I've come all this way, my lord. I've suffered much for my loyalty. Even this dreadful warlock's curse. I was not always like this.
A warlock's curse, is it?
Yes, to sleep each night upon whetstone, burrowing in dung for warmth and detritus for safety, to travel through every city sewer between here and home, or nose made more sensitive to its stench. To find oneself ridden by fleas, reviled by man and beast alike, to feel your very bones stretch and twist beneath your ravaged skin, all of it made more cruel by the memory that I was once like you.
Why have you come so far?
What reason did I have to stay, my lord? My family persuaded of my treachery, my home and barony in the hands of my own enemies, my body cursed beyond recognition, all for my loyalty.
And what is it that you are so loyal to? The creature falls groveling to the floor, the whining, lisping drone of its voice continuing unabated.
Only to you, my lord Mard, only and always to you is why they cursed me. But I would change nothing if it meant changing that, my lord.
The creature groveling before you shudders with a sudden chill, and its teeth resume their fever chattering. Then call off your rats. Why the fuck would I say that when he's clearly fighting the rats too? Not his rats. Okay, come with me. I'll take care of you. Creature shakes its horrid head.
No, my lord, I've already travelled far to see your face again. I'm sick and weary, and I would only slow you down. You do what you must do, and I will rest here to regain my strength.
The wretched creature turns from you, seeking a perch that might be free of rats. Then I talk about the rats again.
The creature peers through the mists of Brogan's tears, seeking a resting place where it can be free of the rats that endlessly pursue it.
And disease. Right. Barrow site. Drop to the old well. So what? This should be a dead end of some sort. The major problem here is that I have major stat negatives now. They're starting to actually threaten my life.
Step with me. Come on. Follow along. To your weapons. And don't let up. Attack!
We're not gonna survive this. Yep, I don't have a summoned creature and I'm basically ambushed by them. I might be able to deal with them if this works. Did not work. The damage isn't the main problem, is that I'm diseased, so my stats are shit. Yeah. And the status effects are gonna continue too. Not sure what the best way to deal with this though is. We already have the diseases.
The creature peers through the mists of Brogan's tears,
I have to bail.
seeking a resting place where it can be free of the rats that
Go back to
endlessly
the village
pursue
and
it.
rest. Also need to add another summon spell here. Against the huge number of enemies we face, a single summoned creature is not reliable enough. We can heal hit points to some extent. Not sure if we need to go up there.
Step with me. Come on. Follow along. To your weapons. And don't let up. Attack!
There are really an infinite supply of rats here. We have two choices. We could go toward Barrow's side. This is just a safe spot for us. Which is sort of worthless because I have to kill myself if I want to get it. What is that? Methods. Instant death. Yeah, I don't get this. There's like way too many enemies in comparison to how you're supposed to play this. Maybe if I fight enough to get to the wolf, I might be able to deal with this. It's 100 points. That would mean going for the resurrection point first, killing as many of these rats as possible. Every point counts. Even shitty rats are valuable kills for me. We still need to get rid of at least the disease before we do anything. The few hit points we get from that are vital. I probably need the 30 hit points in order to have any chance of surviving, even the better summon.
Step with me. Come on. Follow along.
Where the hell did the methods come from here anyway? No methods there now. Ambush. That's a lot of ghoul rats. Too many. Yeah, this I can't escape this. So it was a big mistake to come here. We would have to escape sooner. Now it's too late. There's way too many. It's sort of a problem because of the dance of death. Even if there's only a couple of rats at the rear that we need to kill to escape from this, it's not quite so easy.
Hold this spot like it was home.
Once it turns to the dance of death, where we sort of circle around each other, the people who are coming from this direction will intermingle there, block my movement path.
To your weapons, and don't let up. Attack!
Key is to not go there and try to fight. That's too many enemies at the same time. Okay, try to kill something, please. Why can't I move? I mean, run. Ugh, more rats. Why the fuck do they hit me with every hit? Okay, I have +1 to hit. No, +4. They have +5 or +4. +6. Holy shit, they're at least on the same level as I am. Gold rats are a level above. Probably not gonna survive this no matter what I do. We need about 86 points and we can travel up. Still, with the help of the rattling, we might succeed. The problem is I'm not gonna get experience from the guys who rattling kills, so when we succeed thanks to his help, we are not gonna be any closer to the level up. You attacking? There's an endless spawn of rats here, but I really need to just fail on this. How many experience points? 79.
A gust of cold air.
Yeah, that was close. Uncomfortably close. Right, we have to go down there. Our goal is basically to try to get to that level up one way or another. An unknown damage source again, causing me grief. Another option would be to go kill the zombies in the earlier areas. But I still think these are easier targets for us. Armor class 21.
The well is old.
And they hit. They will hit 1 times out of 4, more or less. $70 points, so 10 ghoul rats basically. And it's the same ambush every time. Do I want to respawn here? Of course I do.
Negative energies.
Ooh, okay, we get experience from following the tendrils do that. Extra fee. Knockdown might be a very good one for us. We have to fight against anything a little bit more, I don't know, maybe weapon proficiency. Our current weapon is fine. The thing is, it's blunt and it's not very good. So we take martial weaponry, we could use most of the blades and axes and things like that. Alternatively, knockdown. I'm leaning toward martial weapon. It's a lot of weapons, and basically if we get any kind of a weapon that's better than this piece of crap, we need to take it. We need some sort of a magical weapon soon, otherwise we'll be unable to really damage the opponents. On the other hand, knockdown is a very good thing to have. Especially with a summoned creature. Could see us through a lot of nasty fights. And it's not like I have a weapon in mind currently that I would like to take. Still. Oh my. Summon creature tools. Find traps. Useful stuff. Yeah, this is genuinely useful stuff. This is enough of a resistance that we could tank the little methods. Endure elements, right. What about this one? We could either buff the wolf a little bit more, or take debuff removals, maybe attack spells, buff spells for the summoned creature. We could do the Ultra Vision Darkness combo too. It's fairly good, allows sneak attacks basically constantly, or highly reduce the attack capabilities from the enemy. If we do that combo, we want to have a summoned Direboar as a backup summon. I don't know. I sort of want the strength. On the other hand, hold person would be a godsend. Just doesn't really work on everyone. Web is a good one, but again, I'm not sure if there's a good one against these enemies we're facing mostly. So, maybe lesser restoration. Oh, screw that. Can I rest? I'll wait a minute. The boar is fine, but it's also diseased now, and it's pitiful compared to the wolves. So, replace. Even if the methods are there, they should not be a problem now. I can't tank them for long though, so the wolf better do its job. They're gonna be primarily shooting at me, so I'll take the tank. We only have to survive that one fight.
To your weapons, and don't let up. Attack!
Of course you use the power attack mode against the rat. Probably the most annoying thing about these.
Step with me. Come on. Follow along. To your weapons, and don't let up. Attack!
Here we go. Charge, charge, charge.
And don't let up. Attack! Let's have at it.
Please attack. Right. Not bad. Good either. But on the positive side, definitely we have enough tools now that we can deal with these situations. The huge burst of damage that they just throw in your direction. Fighting also, again, doesn't really give us anything. Risk your life
The patina of water seems to shimmer beneath you as you climb. You suddenly realize that the water is running uphill towards the dim light you see above you.
Risking our lives for what, 50 experience points maybe?
Dripping with the warm, foul-smelling water, you emerge with a gasp. Something's wrong. You can feel it, like a current of electricity arcing through your bones. Time itself seems to stand still. You are in the barrow site, Brogan's tears welling up before you. Beyond, you can see a small cairn where his arm must once have rested. The altar that once held the Kavanaugh stone lies barren.
Seize them, cries a commanding voice. Seize the foreigner. If they've come this far, they know too much.
Wait, I've come for the Kavanaugh stone.
Mockery, cries another. Ye be the one who sent the elf to steal the stone in the first place, so why don't ye ask him? Why are ye waiting, armsmen? Calls a third. Capture him like ye did the elf and seal him in the mines.
Your head throbs from the armsman's blows. With wry irony, you remember the night hag sending you here in search of answers. Seek the Kavanaugh stone and you will not fail, she said. She had warned you that the man would be hard to find, but she had said nothing of the price you'd pay to hear his answers. You wonder if you'll live long enough to deliver your message to the king.
But the hag didn't lie. She just didn't... Yeah, she didn't lie. There's this price to pay.
Voices shatter your reverie. You wonder if you'll even live long enough to see another day.
How dare ye and your lapdog elf think to steal the Kavanaugh stone,
Threatens one of your captors.
Into the mine with ye then. Ye can stay there until the council figures out how it is we intend to hang ye.
You close your eyes, grateful for whatever time you've been granted. The elf awaits you.
This would likely mean, though, that we might be getting a companion. It doesn't really matter if the elf would be, what type of a class he would be. Anything would help here.
You stumble into the writhing mass of negative energy. Its tendrils embrace you, burrowing beneath your flesh. As you lay there, you spy a message written in chalk upon the wall. It reads, "My name is Cauldrian Air."
Cauldrian Air.
Negative energies.
Oh shit. Rats. Why does it have to be rats? I mean, what makes rats so suicidal that they would attack a human? I don't really mind the rats like some people, but they're the least interesting opponent you could have a low level character fight. Kill some rats somewhere. But I do dislike the fact that rats in general, or any animal, would just attack us without a reason. That bothers me much more than the patheticness of the rats themselves. Either way, I'll end things here. Looks like we have an entire mine to explore, and discover the elf who we sent to steal the Kavanaugh stone. Well, actually, it's a possibility. Certainly likely that our force that passed here sent the elf to do the job. But the dwarves could be blaming any outsiders of collusion here, so who the hell knows? We need to talk to the elf.